BuddhaRice situation, but Sauron jumps in, is taking some damage from Decrepify, but he's still at good health, good mana. Konfetarius meanwhile shows up to duel BuddhaRice, but the exhaust is on poor Kog'Maw. Sauron jumps over, gets the double kill onto Swain. Meanwhile, Nunu and Kayle are battling down Konfetarius, and then Sauron comes in to take out the kill while Kayle has time to move away from Ignite Surprise. So the Windmill now looks to be in favor of Field of Vibe. inFe has shown up alone because Painkillar was cut off by ChrisIam on Malphite, so now Lulu is forced to run away as Jax continues to chase. Painkillar going to go with that Power Fist onto Jax, but Lulu stopped to get the health relic and turned around for Glitter Lance, and that was the death of her as Sauron's still chasing on that Jax. Jax is going to go again with that Leap Strike, and Malphite is going for the channel on the tower, allowing Sauron not to take any tower damage. Takes out another double kill onto Blitzcrank this time. And there's the Unstoppable Force down onto Swain. So much continued action going on early on in the game. Blueberry will go down to armor Sauron and ChrisIam. Commentary has shown up once again, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much. Squishy Kog'Maw all alone in a 1v3, trying to pick off one more kill onto armor. Jax tries to dodge that artillery strike, but he gets grabbed by Blitzcrank while exhausted. No escape there. Commentary is finally picking up the kill. Also able to survive with that wild growth from Lulu, and Lulu's Glitter Lance will pick off the kill onto armor. The fight finally may be ending. Painkillar might look for another grab here onto ChrisIam. No, they're going to split off. So a very, very extended fight. It resulted in a 3-cap in favor of Field of Vive. Now we're going to see inFe and Painkillar try to take the Windmill back.
But BuddhaRice and ChrisIam are up there to defend that point from any attempts they might make for the moment to engage on it, although they do have CaptnBuwberry Swain heading up from the bottom as well to join in on that. They are pushing a pretty big creep wave with them. Is going to do something for helping them capture that tower, but engagement up above the thing. ChrisIam taking a lot of damage up there, not quite super tanky yet on, but Sauron is going to take that opportunity to jump on over the thing, getting vision up there from the minion, and now he's going to stalk Painkillar a little bit, popping the ultimate there to get a little bit of extra durability in. And stops to beat up a minion because Sauron loves money. No, he just loves hitting minions. Gonna turn around and go for the tower instead. konfetarius is trying to poke Sauron off and is able to successfully land a hit there. Sauron just wary about engaging here. He wants to look for the right moment. You see him keeping that up for a moment or so longer, not popping that counterattack immediately, waiting like a blink of an eye before actually doing it. BuddhaRice saving him though with that ultimate, and then him jumping out to Buddha in order to escape dying earlier, and then circling back around, going into the fight to close it out the way that he did, with a victory for his team, and they are going to be able to pick up the Windmill, but armor is going to get grabbed by Painkillar there. ChrisIam has a knife glacial spike arm that has something to say about, and Painkillar, susceptible to rust, is going to recall.
Yep, we are seeing Pex a little bit pressured right now in a consistent 3v2 this time around. Against them. We'll see what they can do. I mean, they do have Lulu, who's an amazing support, has long-range poke, and can help change the way the team fight goes, but they've been kind of just filing in one by one into these fights ever since the Windmill fight went sour for them. So we'll see if they can group up and make a team play here. We are going to see Painkillar heading down towards the bottom. Meanwhile, Swain also heading down towards the bottom. Udyr has run very low, but Nekrogen's also very low. He needs to watch out, and we're going to see Painkillar run right and get to the power hits, and then the rocket grab gets the shutdown onto Nekrogen. Are they going to pressure onto the quarry right away? We are seeing Kayle, played by BuddhaRice, heading down here to defend it with that Storm Shield, so that's a lot of good damage coming out from Kayle. Look at that, chunking away at Blitzcrank, and now chunking away at CaptnBuwberry on Swain. Swain needs to watch out. Painkillar trying to come in for the crowd control. The grab will not hit, and that's going to force both Blitzcrank and Swain to back off as we see inFe coming in with that Storm Shield, but that's not going to do too much. Meanwhile, top portion of the map, Nunu has taken out Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw trying to put out that Engaging Surprise damage, but it's not going to do too much as Armor and Sauron are able to channel down onto the drill. That forces both Painkillar and inFe to retreat from the bottom lane to come up and save it. The Nusha's already gone down, but can they interrupt the whole capture? Yes, they will. Sauron decides, you know what, we will fight for this, and there's the absolute zero, but there's a good silence coming out from Painkillar. They immediately take down Sauron with help CaptnBuwberry showing up from base. Now they're going to chase down Armor. A good Glitter Lance cutting off the escape path from Nunu.
At the bottom of the map, HaIfhearted is going to get taken down once again in the bottom lane there, and ChrisIam and Nekrogen are going to push up on that tower. They begin the cap on it right away. konfetarius' Kog'Maw is coming down and drops a hit on ChrisIM there to interrupt him, does the same for Nekrogen, but Kog'Maw can't effectively defend against two people that are spread out like that. He does have a limited amount of AoE, and he's going to get taken out, but a good grab from Painkillar right there pulls Nekrogen out away, and the Occasion Surprise is going to take him down. Kog'Maw from the Great Beyond picking up kills anyway. Death does not stop konfetarius from being effective, and ChrisIM is going to get chased away from that point. At the top of the map, however, CaptnBuwberry has to deal with Armor and Sauron. Now, I don't want to deal with either one of those two particular players, but Sauron is jumping right in on CaptnBuwberry there, gets him with the Leap Strike, gets him with the counter attack, and then gets him with another Leap Strike to finish things off. You can see Sauron's got a Brutalizer for that little extra CDR there, and a good grab in there from Painkillar, brings Armor right in underneath the tower, helps take him out. inFe getting the last hit on that, picking up a kill as Lulu there.
So Peps has finally gotten their own 3-cap, and can they hold on to this? This is a big question. HaIfhearted's been having some problems down bot, so we are going to see konfetarius hitting bot once again, but that leaves only inFe and Painkillar to defend the top. I don't think that's the best of ideas. Sauron jumping with a counter-strike, but a good crowd control coming out from Painkillar, but now he's in a lot of danger trying to survive with that mana barrier, but there is the offensive Garrison going down on the tower, so we do see Feel the Vibe completely ignoring the tower damage. There's Wild Growth, but Sauron is still channeling onto the tower. CaptnBuwberry comes in, but Jax is still channeling onto that tower. It doesn't matter if he can get the kill if Jax finishes the channel. Buwberry trying to go in to save it. And he actually draws the attention from Sauron to jump away from the tower, and Sauron just wants the kill now on inFe. Meanwhile, Buwberry is able to pick up the kill onto BuddhaRice on Kayle, and there's an unstoppable force actually going straight through the wall onto CaptnBuwberry as Sauron jumps in for assistance, and he should be able to pick up the kill here, but Buwberry trying to run away, not going to happen. Leaf Strike finishes off the kill.
Yep, picking up that, maxing his counter-strike and his leap strike first off, leaving his empower at just 1 for right now. Sauron maxing those other 2 abilities first. Up at the top, though, Painkillar and konfetarius getting this neutral uncontested, but they're not going to be able to get the full cap due to Armor's presence up in the top lane here. And you can see him running around trying to get to konfetarius, and konfetarius does decide to pull off of the point in order to kill him. But that buys time for BuddhaRice to get up here. But is BuddhaRice going to be able to? No, there's minions up there. He's not going to be able to stop that from being captured. So, right now, Paizo and Child Support has been able to secure the windmill.
But HaIfhearted gets ganked by Sauron. He's going to get melted immediately. Buwberry does show up to hopefully save the tower. Another offensive Garrison going down on the Boneyard, but now Buwberry is showing me konfetarius. Sauron, is he going to jump in? He's actually activated his Grandmaster's Might, and he dives in under the tower. He does get exhausted. Buwberry trying to make an escape. Sauron's taking so much damage from konfetarius. Buwberry will eventually go down, but Nekrogen in a lot of trouble. konfetarius looking for the extra hits, but konfetarius is actually going to go down, and the Spellvamp is going to allow Nekrogen to survive until the Cantian Surprise takes him out. But the minions will get the job done for Feel the Vibe as they neutralize the Boneyard. So HaIfhearted rushing towards it to recap it for Pex, as we see Painkillar and inFe trying to defend the top windmill against 3 people. Once again, it doesn't look to be good.
No, it does not, especially with Armor charging up that absolute 0 and almost killing Blitzcrank outright with it, but Kayle is going to pick up that kill instead. Armor moves up to start beating up on inFe there, the tallest Yordle that there ever was with that Storm Shield. BuddhaRice having to back out of the fight a little bit. ChrisIM trying to get that cap going, but no, inFe throws the Garrison down. It's going to slow it down a little bit longer. Not quite enough time to get konfetarius up there to stop it from being captured, but maybe long enough for konfetarius to be able to clean it up, though not with Sauron there. Sauron coming in from behind is able to make very, very short work of Kog'Maw, and now has set his sights on CaptnBuwberry, going after him, chasing him down. Throws down the stun with the Leap Strike, and combo is going to take down Swain. Sauron picking up another double kill. Sauron picking up multi-kills left, right, center, behind, above you, under your fridge. If there's double kills, multi-kills, Sauron's getting them. And now Nekrogen chasing HaIfhearted down in the lower end of the map. Oh, manages to get him with that Rune Prison, and is it going to be enough? No, not quite, but he is able to close in the range, but Painkillar is coming in from behind, grabs him, pulls him underneath the tower, bops him up into the air, gets hit with a couple of tower shots. HaIfhearted is there and is in turtle stance, turns into Bear, Bear slaps him, and that's all that they wrote for Nekrogen's Ryze right now.
Great timing by Painkillar on using his abilities. Save that ultimate for when Ryze did get Vision of Udyr to use his abilities, and then silenced him right away. inFe, meanwhile, going to get sandwiched by 3 people again. Poor inFe, not having a good time near the windmill today. konfetarius does show up to put out some free damage onto Armor, and then CaptnBuwberry rushes into the center of the fight, but konfetarius needs to watch out. Malphite is right on top of him, putting out good damage. Painkillar comes in to catch him as he tries to escape around the backside, though there is the Kayle ultimately trying to keep him alive for just a little bit longer, but Painkillar is going to use his static field to pick up the kill with that AoE burst through the brush. Meanwhile, CaptnBuwberry picks up the kill on to BuddhaRice on Kayle. And 4 people at the windmill, 4 Pex. They're going to capture it just fine, and we are going to see Sauron now milling about. Is he going to go for the drill? No, he's heading straight for the Boneyard once again. And HaIfhearted is already having some trouble against Nekrogen alone, but with Sauron showing up every time, he's just not going to have a good time even under the tower. Sauron is quite tanky right now with that Jax. He's just putting out some good damage alongside Nekrogen. They're not even worried about the tower. konfetarius has shown up, but they know they can probably still take this. No, actually, konfetarius is putting out some good damage. And Swain now helping out as Jax is in that Counter-Strike mode, putting out that AoE damage to take him down. Good defense coming out from both Blueberry and konfetarius. They did get the tower neutralized, but the Boneyard will quickly go back in favor of Pex as we see more action going down at the windmill in a 3v2 situation. There's an unstoppable force by ChrisIam, inFe getting solo, and there's the absolute zero. It's going to be stopped by a good wild growth from inFe, but Painkillar now left alone with that offensive Garrison on that tower. There's no defender's advantage to count to. And now Armor trying to go for inFe, does get the Snow Blast down, and he's gonna chase with that Blood Void. Painkillar now focusing down onto BuddhaRice as CaptnBuwberry comes in. BuddhaRice uses his ultimate to stay alive a little bit longer. Buwberry is the only one alive against 3 people, but they're all very low. Can he get the damage with his AoE? He's not gonna be able to kill off ChrisIam just yet. Can he turn around and get any kills? No, Armor's gonna make an escape, and BuddhaRice is still at about the same health as CaptnBuwberry. Not looking good for this Swain up top.
And down at the bottom, Nekrogen and Sauron were able to take the bottom point, but a couple of revives from the enemy team were able to turn that around. Nekrogen and Sauron both getting killed off, one shortly thereafter, or after the other. And now, HaIfhearted and konfetarius down at the bottom end of the map are getting a little bit of damage in on ChrisIam. ChrisIam trying to defend the point there. Painkillar bopping him up into the air, getting him with the grab, pulling him back a little bit, getting that extra distance, but are not able to finish him off before he is able to retreat from that point. HaIfhearted getting locked down immediately by Ryze there, but Sauron sees it. He sees konfetarius free and jumps in to get him immediately and is able to secure that kill on him. But while all this was going on, inFe was backcapping the windmill. The windmill has been taken. CaptnBuwberry is going to go down for the point, and I don't know if he's going to try and defend or he's going to let it go. He might just let it go. Lulu's going to try and backcap the refinery as CaptnBuwberry retreats.
Lulu does see everyone kind of leaving that quarry, so decides just to push up the minions. I mean, Buwberry, I think, made a very, very good choice there. He had that Storm Shield, he had the damage buff. He'd rather save that for the next big fight rather than go in and suicide to save the tower for just a little bit longer. I mean, they got the 3 cap with the windmill, so it's okay to sacrifice that bottom quarry there. So Buwberry making a very, very good choice to just retreat and hold on to a more solid advantage than extend a risky one. We are going to see Sauron jumping towards that Storm Shield. He should be able to get it. No, the artillery shot's going to deny it from konfetarius. Very, very good block. Meanwhile, top of the fight has already started. Buwberry utilizing that Storm Shield and the damage buff, and we are going to see inFe trying to slow them as Buwberry tries to make an escape. Painkillar comes in, he gets the knockup down onto Armor, and Sauron changes targets right away, but he's going to get dragged right into tower range. Very, very good grab, but there's the absolute zero. No one to stop it. It's going to put out some good damage. Finishes off CaptnBuwberry. Meanwhile, the Cake Surprise is procced by Sauron, and Sauron will actually die, so the Cake Surprise not going to be needed there for that kill. BuddhaRice gets dragged into tower range. Once again, Painkillar landing some very, very good grabs, but he's exhausted. He's at very, very low health, but he lives once again with the Painkillar survival method at 24 health after taking out the kills at the windmill. Windmill still is in favor of Pex, but the Boneyard has now been neutralized. Nekrogen once again pressuring against HaIfhearted. HaIfhearted just hasn't had much of an answer on his own.
No, he has not. Nekrogen catching with a Rune Prism right there, but HaIfhearted answering with a stun of his own, enabling konfetarius to get a lot of damage in on him. Nekrogen getting caught pretty unfortunately right there with the help of Kog'Maw on Udyr's side. But now, Sauron sees this as an opening. He sees neutral point. He's going to walk in. He's going to interrupt that cap. CaptnBuwberry is going to go ahead and activate his Ravenous Flock. Sauron doesn't want to deal with that. He's going to wait till it wears off. And that right there, there's going to be a cooldown for a couple of seconds left on that ult. It's going to give Sauron a chance to deal a little bit of damage. But HaIfhearted is going to come down as well, though, and disrupt things a little bit. Sauron is maybe going to be able to finish off CaptnBuwberry. We're going to find out. Just going to take one more hit. No, unfortunately, not going to be able to pull that one off.
Man, HaIfhearted looked so scary running in with that Bear Sands, getting the stun onto Sauron on Jax. Meanwhile, top, we did see Pex kind of pushing down against the refinery, but they're not going to commit to it. Kayle has picked up that Storm Shield. And so we'll see if Kayle is going to be a little bit more of importance this time around with the damage. We did talk about her range damage being quite essential, and look at ChrisIM getting caught by CaptnBuwberry and konfetarius. Is forced to retreat.
I'd use his unstoppable force.
Using his ult, as a matter of fact. Yeah. So that's going to be down for the next team fight.
And I'm not sure when that next team fight is going to be. I mean, Sauron is looking to make a play right here. They don't have their tank with them, though. Sauron with that Grandmaster's Might. He still has a few seconds away on it. Maybe that's what he's waiting for, hanging out in the bushes, waiting for that countdown, perhaps, before actually going around and engaging. You see he's got a Hex Drinker, a Negatron Cloak, and a Mercury Treads, so he knows where a lot of the damage that he doesn't like is coming from. He wants to really be able to counteract CaptnBuwberry and inFe's damage, it seems. Gonna go for a back cap right here, but konfetarius is coming down. However, he can take care of konfetarius, and he sees that the shot goes off. Sauron knows that konfetarius is nearby, but Buwberry is over there. Sauron's got a lot of MR. He's not that afraid of Buwberry, but he is pretty afraid of everything else. Sauron getting caught by himself is playing Nekrogen a little bit too far away to be able to assist. He's going to leap strike in for Buwberry, but is not able to secure the kill. And Nekrogen's going to have to retreat back to that bottom point there, but he might get CaptnBuwberry in the exchange. He picks up the double kill. Acathian surprise. Nope. Bear Slap going to take that. Or Phoenix Slap, rather. Going to take up that kill there.
Pex is making a really, really good comeback so far. HaIfhearted now able to capture the quarry. Maybe not. Blood Boiled Armor, or Blood Boiled Nunu rather, very, very speedy, comes in for that interrupt. And HaIfhearted is going to start a duel, but that's not a duel he wanted to start, because there's his thermal force by ChrisIM on Malphite. Nekrogen rushing in with his ultimate activated for that extra speed boost, but we're going to see that Bear Stance run away by HaIfhearted. ChrisIM still chasing through with a Seismic Shard, and Udyr finally getting away as he reaches that health relic. That left the top a little bit open. BuddhaRice versus inFe is the duel for the time being. Sauron has shown up, but there's konfetarius, Painkillar, and CaptnBuwberry. Sauron sees this, he decides to just run away immediately. Painkillar says, no, you are going to pay for everything you have done. He gets this knock up before the stun lands, and that keeps Sauron absolutely locked down, gets melted by konfetarius, as Armor has now shown up top. This Nunu is just a speedy guy. The grab is not going to hit anyone, gets a field goal in between both Malphite and Nunu, and now Malphite is left all alone. Field+Revive keeps splitting up, they're too scared of this 4v1, 4v2 situation, and they keep leaving one behind after another. That allows Pex to pick off the kills and now hopefully get the windmill. konfetarius is going to go back and show a bottom, as they see that Nekrogen is once again giving HaIfhearted a little bit of trouble. So he's coming in to defend this tower. Very, very good planning by konfetarius to retreat. They realize that Buwberry has kind of top on lockdown in terms of damage. They're trying to get sight on Nekrogen. Nekrogen has been sighted through the brush, but here comes Sauron. This is not a good 2v2 fight for Pex. Look at Udyr getting melted by Ryze and Jax.
And Sauron turn around. He's going to go back here. He's going to look around behind that. He wants to see if Kog'Maw is there or not. And there is inFe. Oh, wasting that counter attack, although it should come back up pretty shortly here. In this, yep, there he goes, got it right back right there. inFe taking a lot of damage, gets hit with that Rune Prison. No! Interesting airborne right there. inFe able to deny that for a moment, but Sauron and Nekrogen are going to sweep bottom very convincingly there and begin going for the capture. However, he's going to get neutral before HaIfhearted. HaIfhearted saves it with a Garrison, though, but can HaIfhearted fight off Sauron, Nekrogen, and a bunch of minions underneath the tower? We're going to see, and we're going to see that it's not something that they are currently capable of. However, this is going to put Field+Revive into a 4-cap situation.
Wow. I mean, Field+Revive just took it right back. They realized, I mean, what Pex had been doing was putting out a lot of pressure against Nekrogen. They realized that Nekrogen was giving HaIfhearted a lot of trouble. They kind of shifted focus and then had Painkillar and inFe hold top for quite a long time, several times in a row. I mean, they have a lot of sustainability with Lulu and Blitzcrank combined. That Mana Barrier and Wild Growth gives him a sudden burst of health. And that's been all well until Field+Revive responded and started putting out their damage down around to the bottom lane also by sending down Sauron non-stop, sending down Armor to help defend. And we are now going to see both teams kind of grouping up here towards the middle. They know the other team is planning something. They're both being quite cautious. The game is still in either one's hands. And we are going to see Pex's group of HaIfhearted is going to ditch the bottom lane. Both bottom laners have left the lane at this point. The minions are just pushing out against each other. And we're going to see Pex slowly checking the brushes as they gather around the Storm Shield. And they're going to decide to go for BuddhaRice, who is all alone. The enemy team is circled around the windmill. This is not a good
No, it is not. And BuddhaRice is going to lose one of their primary DPS characters, or their damage dealing characters rather, and that point is going to get very quickly neutraled. BuddhaRice with the revive might just be reviving into another death. We'll have to see how that plays out, though. People are going to have to recall and go for that drill, and the bottom point being captured as well. Lulu moving up towards the refinery. Everybody go to a different place. Let's split up, gang. Over at the drill, we have HaIfhearted getting chased away by Nekrogen and ChrisIM. Lulu is back capping over at the refinery. And down at the bottom point, Armor and Sauron are picking up that point. It looks like we are completely switching who's on which side of the map right now. Lulu is maybe going to pick up that point and tie it 2-2. Clock is stopped right now. Although, I don't know if Painkillar and Armor, Armor and Sauron are going to be able to get out of this in one piece. And no, they are not. With those two bottom points captured, it looks like we're going to see a quick switch here in regards to who has what. Sauron is retaking the bottom point, but HaIfhearted is Udyr, and he's really, really fast. He's running with that bear speed that he's got, and he's going to go up there, but he doesn't have any ranged attacks, so he has to walk up to melee, and he is going to die, unfortunately, but he buys that extra time for people to capture the drill, although no one was able to get to the windmill in time to capture it, so things are really, really dicey right now for Pay's Evelynn child support.
Yeah, inFe just trying to keep CaptnBuwberry stalled right now, waiting for the rest of packs to show up, and they are here before the enemy team, but Nekrogen's going to get the cutoff on konfetarius. He's not going to get the Rune Prison just yet, though. CaptnBuwberry turns right around. Painkillar looking for that grab, gets Nekrogen, but there's a great unstoppable force coming in from ChrisIM, immediately bursts down the entire enemy team, but they did a lot of AoE damage to themselves, including Blitzcrank static field. That was a complete just trade, and now it's just inFe and Armor on Nunu alive. Meanwhile, bottom, we do see CaptnBuwberry and Painkillar getting zoned away from the Boneyard, and that looks to be game going in favor of
Field of Vibe is going to pick up this second game, and we are going to go to a Game 3 of the finals here in the DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 24.